He does record it too, so you can listen to it again.
Oh, good. What's his name?
Hey, David.
What's up?
Hey, what's up?
Hello, David. I'm John.
How's it going, John?
Hi, I'm really looking forward to this. Mark got it set up, and thank you for your quick availability and putting this together. We really appreciate it. Mark is, of course, spoke very highly, so I'm looking forward.
Awesome. Thank you, Mark. And nice to meet you. All right. Well, did Mark explain exactly what it is I do?
Yeah, but I think you probably will explain it better.
All right. So I use body language or physical sensations in our body that tell us information. And it can be translated into what you're feeling emotionally. And when you acknowledge it and process your feelings, it allows your body to do what it's supposed to do. Your subconscious will take over and restore your divine blueprint, so to speak.
Okay. Yeah, makes very logical sense.
So, in my experience of doing this with thousands of people now and seeing it work every single time, suppressed emotions are the origin of all disease.
Wow.
So, yeah, it's a big statement. It's a big statement. But after seeing, Mark has a story.
We all do.
Yeah, I've got another client who she pooped out her cancerous tumor. She had colon cancer. We processed her emotions, and now this was over some, little period of time. Everybody's different in how, fast they create their miracles. But she was able to eliminate colon cancer.
Wow.
And the bulk of the work she did was through emotional processing and a little bit of nutrition. I've had other people cancel surgeries, more than one person. Pain for years just go away instantly. That's just kind of like, at this point, I just expect miracles to happen. And
Wow.
yeah, and it's all in all of us. Every single one of us have this in us. We have a subconscious mind. Now, this is my opinion. You can translate this however you need to, but I feel our subconscious is God in us because He said, "Hey, I made you in my image." And our subconscious is what has built our body. It runs our body. It heals our body, and it's all done without our conscious awareness. And so, when we get in alignment or in joy and enthusiasm, our subconscious just starts doing what it's supposed to do, or, basically creating ease, which is the opposite of dis-ease, ease in our body. All right. So that's in a nutshell what I'm doing, and how I do it is through 5 steps. And step number 1 is pretty easy. It's just breathing. So whenever we get a charge on something and someone's got us pissed off or angry or sad or mad or happy, whatever, we can take a big breath, and that's going to help us relax. Then we're going to check in with our body and notice where we get physical sensations. It could be tension, pain, itching, scratching, whatever that sensation is. The location of it is what's going to give us the information. So think of it like a dashboard on your car. If you got shoulder pain, it's like your gas light is on. Elbow pain is going to be like your oil light's on. So every single time, it's almost like an anatomy chart. These locations can be translated into emotions. And then once we get the emotion, we'll bring in forgiveness. And that is just speaking it out loud. And even though we may not forgive this person, they may have truly pissed us off to where it's unforgivable. Even if we go through the motions and say, I give myself permission to forgive person X, and it's okay. Just saying that out loud is going to create a sense of ease in our body. And then once we bring in the forgiveness, we go into reprogramming. So an example of programming, have you ever drove your car and go a few miles and don't remember how you got there?
Sure.
Okay, that's subconscious programming. Your subconscious takes over, we start daydreaming, and we get to our destination without our conscious awareness. There's no limit to how many programs you can have. And then once you get this information or remember it about yourself, you can program your subconscious with whatever you choose through repetition, through your words, through your thoughts, your feelings, and doing this over and over. So for example, when I get up in the morning or when I go to bed, whenever I'm having self-doubt, I will say this out loud. I have a wonderful business in a wonderful way that gives wonderful service for wonderful pay. The walls of lack and delay crumble away, and I move into my promised land with grace, peace, and ease. I create miracles and blessings everywhere I go. My health and wealth find me, and I find my health and wealth. I'm grateful for the protection over myself and my family so that we are happy, healthy, secure, fulfilled, adventurous, and free. I use my voice to uplift others, and I ignite secure love everywhere I go. That's all I have so far. But notice the first time I drove, it was hard. But then once I started doing it over and over, driving became easy. And then all of a sudden, a subconscious program. So me saying that over and over and over, all of a sudden, people start showing up in my life. Something, God tells me to go over here, go talk to that person, and all of a sudden, Mark shows up in my life, because I have a wonderful business in a wonderful way that gives wonderful service. So this is what I am programming my subconscious to get me to a destination that is my highest choice. So that's step 4. Step 5 is just gratitude. So whenever we feel good and we talk about things that we're grateful for, it magnifies our good feeling. Our subconscious will expand it into something bigger, and there's no limit to how good you can feel. So that's the 5 steps. Pretty simple. A 3rd grader could do it. And here's the fun part is you're going to know if I'm full of bull caca instantly, or if, hey, this works, because our bodies will give us instant feedback. Like Mark, he got instant feedback after our first conversation. So you'll know, right? You'll know. And then there are times where we require tweaking a few things, but I have never had this not work. And so what's been your biggest challenge?
It's physical pain.
Okay. And where's the location of your pain?
I have multiple locations. It's mostly revolving around, I guess you would say it comes from spinal stenosis from motorcycle accidents and then other activities and things like that. It's basically physically located for the most part. I had broken both of my feet and both of my arches, so my posture and my walking has been, it's difficult. And so that over time, when your body's out of alignment, it kind of wears in different ways. Most of my pain, my biggest problem, number 1, is my groin, because that's limiting my capacity to sit. I can't sit down for very long in a chair, for instance. And then secondarily, it's up here in the jaw. It's on both sides. But mostly, more than anything, right now, it's here on the right side. And that's basically, and the shoulders have been severely injured. And they have many limitations also. So depending, they don't hurt in every moment, but when I have to use things in the way they're supposed to be used, then the pain really sets in. I found my most comfortable position is standing.
All right. So there's a few ways to start this. I mean, actually, I'll start with 3 questions. Do I have permission to read your body language?
You read my what?
Your body language. Do I have permission to read your body language?
Of course.
So, of course, yes, or of course, no.
Oh, yes, yes.
All right.
All
See,
right.
this is about, so I reference scripture quite a bit, and it's not about religion, just about consciousness.
Mhm.
So a full yes and a full no are required in this work for me. It says we
Okay.
stand in our full authority.
Okay, I understand. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's like I love telling this to people. If I ask somebody to marry me and they go, sure. Yeah. Or of course, like so yeah, those full yeses. All right, so good. Do I have permission to see perfection?
Okay. Makes sense.
Got to be a yes or a no.
Yes.
All right. And do I have permission to discover with you your greater mission in life?
Yes.
Okay. So all those body signals, I'm crafting a question. All right. So let's see if I can encompass all those body signals, and we'll see if this resonates with you. Have you been carrying a burden about not being supported?
No.
Okay. Well, hang on. I'm still crafting the question. There's
okay.
more to it.
Okay, I thought I was getting off the hook easy. Okay.
Yeah. And see, here's the thing. Your body is always telling you the truth. So your back signals, back pain, this is about not being supported or feeling you haven't been supported. It may not be recent. It could be.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
okay. I think I misunderstood.
Yeah.
I thought you said, did I feel that I was not supporting what I needed to support? But
Oh,
yes.
No.
Do I feel not supported? Yes.
Okay,
Definitely.
perfect.
Definitely.
Okay, so let's go with that. We'll do these one at a time. So back signals about not being supported. So who's the matter when you don't feel supported?
I'm sorry.
Yeah,
what?
so who's not supporting you the way you
It has to do with, I would say right out front, it's relationship issues. I have been divorced twice, and I'm single, living by myself as an elderly man. And I can't, my first family, I'm very close to them, but they live in different parts of the country. My second family lives here, but I'm not very close to them. And I've been trying to get closer. My second wife and I get along very well. My first wife also, but it's like they're never available. And so, it's not like I need a whole lot of support, but I've always said it is accompaniment.
Yes.
That I need to be accompanied, and I need to be accompanied by a female.
Yes.
And so that lack in my life has been, I would say, the heaviest piece of my emotional issue.
Yes. Okay, so what we're doing is we will create your feeling of support in you first. And this now attracts it in your outer world. So we originally get the feeling in us of not feeling supported, and then it shows up outside of us, and we think it's like, oh, these people are doing this or that. but no one ever told us we can create it inside us first, and then it shows up outside of us.
Okay.
All right, so when you feel, so who's the number one person that's not supporting you currently?
In that particular way, because there's not a lot of people in my life, it would be my ex-wife.
Okay, perfect. All right, so we'll process. So anything on our back, so spine, shoulders, low back, this is about anger. Okay, so that's the location, that's the home. So if you think of every emotion has a home, and anger is the emotion that hangs out in our back, and it shows up as signals to let us know anger is there. All right, so thinking about your ex-wife, I'm going to have you say some things out loud, and you notice what happens in your body. Just check in and notice what happens. All right, so saying out loud, yo, anger, I touch and I stay.
I'm sorry, say that. What was that?
That's okay. Yo, like Y-O, like I'm saying, hello, anger.
Oh, yo.
Yo, anger, I touch and I stay.
I touch and I say?
Stay, like I'm staying with it. Like I'm bringing it up to the surface and I'm touching it and I'm staying with it.
Ah,
Yeah.
okay.
So yo,
Oi.
anger.
Anger.
Yeah.
I'm touch it and
stay.
I touch it and stay.
Yeah. So
Okay. Okay. Anger. I touch it and I stay.
yeah. So we'll do it again. Yo, anger. I touch and I stay.
Yo, anger. I touch and I say.
Yes. So that was a question. I'm asking you to say it as a statement. Like,
Oh,
it's a matter of fact.
yeah.
Yo, anger. I touch and I stay.
Okay. Yo, anger. I touch and I stay.
Yeah. And I love my anger into my forgiveness.
And I love my anger into my forgiveness.
Yeah.
Okay.
And what's your former partner's name?
Alexandra.
I give myself permission to forgive Alexandra.
I give myself permission to forgive Alexandra.
Yeah. And have you been hard on yourself?
I've never made that piece of it. I've never caught the relationship between those two factors. I mean, I definitely am affected by not having an emotional support of a partner. Okay. But I've never really felt anger about it, at least consciously in that sense. I've had anger at times, but no, it's more like disappointment.
Yes. And for this work, let's think of it this way. If you have 1%, it's 100%.
All right. Okay.
So if you had 1% anger,
Yeah.
or frustration, consider that 100%, because that 1% can get suppressed, and then it starts giving you the signals.
Okay.
All right.
Uh-huh.
So here we go. We'll continue with the forgiveness for yourself and saying out loud, I forgive myself.
I forgive myself.
And what do you call your creator?
God.
Yes. Okay, so our spine is our support system, right? In the literal sense, it's our support system.
Yes.
And see how a lack of support, that's where the signal shows up. It's literal. God has a sense of humor.
All right.
And so here we go. Saying out loud, I restore my God's support.
I restore my God's support.
Yeah. I am divinely supported,
I am divinely supported,
and I empower Alexandra to feel my support.
and I empower Alexandra to feel my support.
Yes. And do you notice anything happening in your body? Do you feel warmer or lighter, or is there anything?
Yeah, I do, definitely. I feel a little lighter.
Okay, so you just created a shift
Mhm.
this much. So imagine being able to do this shift over and over and over and over. And you're talking about a major breakthrough that you're taking radical responsibility for your experience in creating this. All right. So you also gave me some signals or some language coding that I'm translating that grief is also active.
Hmm.
All right. So let's acknowledge that and see what happens in your body. Just notice how you feel. Saying, yo, grief, I touch and I stay.
Yo, grief, I touch and I stay,
And I love my grief into my joy.
and I love my grief into my joy,
And I love Alexandra's grief into my joy.
and I love Alexandra's grief into my joy.
Yeah. And I forgive all that I have taken in.
And I forgive all that I have taken in.
Only love touches me.
Only love touches me.
Yeah. I am Alexandra's victory.
I am Alexandra's victory.
Yeah. And what's 5 things you're grateful for?
What, 5 things?
5 things that you're grateful for.
5 things that I'm grateful for. In general, I'm in very good health. Okay, I'm retired comfortably. I don't have economic problems. I don't have work responsibilities or children. So I've got a lot of independence and freedom. I am grateful for the fact that I wake up every day, and I thank God every day for it. And I am grateful for being able to live here in South Florida, where we have wonderful weather most of the time. And that's 4. And 5, I have a very good network of friends, including Mark. It's not a big group, but they're people that are very supportive. So I am supported. I didn't want you to think I wasn't at all supported.
Oh,
It's in that area. Because on the
yeah.
other side, I am very well supported by my therapists, okay, my counselors, and I am very grateful for the team effort that we've been able to put together, because we get results.
Right on. All right. Now check in. Notice how you feel.
Yeah, it's very positive to remember that. That's correct.
Yeah. And here's the fun part. Check in with your back. Is there anything different about how your back feels?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay. So please take note of this. This
Yes.
is progress, right? And
Mhm.
doing this over and over. And then we can get to the root of this stuff, like where it all originated. And I can ask you, when's your first memory of not feeling supported by a female in your entire experience on Earth? When's your first memory of not feeling supported by a female?
Okay, obviously it was with my mother. A
Yeah.
question of abandonment, I guess, is what you would say. She was a very good mother, but as a child, I was very dependent on her. And when she wasn't available or wasn't there, if I was at home, I would be fine. But my first one, well, it really wasn't abandonment, it was being lost. But abandonment would be there were several instances where I missed my mother, okay,
Yeah.
and some more important than others.
Okay. So what happens is when we're young and we get these experiences, they become programs,
Mm,
like a computer program.
mm,
All right. So those programs will keep repeating with females, or the programs we got with dad will continue with male figures. So in a way, we create these equations or these programs that love equals abandonment. So the person who loved you the most on this planet abandoned you.
mm, mm,
So think about two wives. That means they had to separate from you. That's a form of abandonment.
mm, mm,
So your subconscious is creating this, and I know that's a blow to our egos sometimes. Like, what do you mean I'm creating? Yeah, because our subconscious, just like when you drive your car and you go those few miles and don't remember how you got there, it's just like that. It could be that with a wife or a woman, like, how did I get here?
mm,
And it's our subconscious getting us to that destination. But what we're doing, going back to that original memory, touching it with love, bringing in forgiveness, and then we rewrite our story. And then we no longer require abandonment love. We can say love equals connection, love equals security. And this will start changing your outer experience. Okay. So,
yeah.
how old were you when you remember your first memory with your mom abandoning you?
Oh, let's see. Um, I would think when she left me somewhere that, I'm sure that I was safe, but it was a place I didn't want to be
Yeah.
because I found it threatening.
Okay.
Okay, that was probably the earliest one. That wasn't the most severe. I do have one example that is really outstanding in terms of the abandonment feeling.
Yeah.
When I was 11 years old.
Okay. All right. 11 years old.
Yeah.
Thinking of that memory and saying out loud, yo, anger, I touch and I stay.
Yo, anger, I touch and I stay.
And I love my anger into my forgiveness.
And I love my anger into my forgiveness.
And I love my mom's anger into my forgiveness.
And I love my mom's anger into forgiveness.
I give myself permission to forgive my mom
I give myself permission to forgive my mom
for abandoning me.
for abandoning me.
Yeah. We'll say it again. I'm going to put it together in one sentence.
All right.
I give myself permission to forgive my mom for abandoning me.
I give myself permission to forgive my mom for abandoning me.
Yeah. And I give myself permission to forgive myself.
And I give myself permission to forgive myself.
Yeah. And then now to the grief. Yo, grief, I touch and I stay.
Yo, grief, I touch and I stay.
And I love my grief into my joy.
And I love my grief into my joy.
And I love my mom's grief into my joy.
And I love my mom's grief into my joy.
And is your mom still here on the planet?
No, no.
Okay. So now that your mom is in God's heart, what is she saying to you right now that is confirming your heart's desire? And can you quote her?
Yeah, I think I can.
Go for it.
Okay, Johnny, I'm very proud of you.
Awesome. Yeah. And you know what? Say it again.
Johnny, I'm awfully proud of you.
Yeah. Awesome. Okay. Now, imagine 6 months from now. Okay, in your imagination 6 months from now,
Okay.
and imagine all your miracles are here. Everything you desire in life, all of your miracles are here and done 6 months from now.
Okay.
Who's with you?
Alexandra,
Yeah. And what location are you in?
we're in a house. We're sharing a house here in Weston, up in the country club where it's quieter. I don't play golf anymore, but it's quieter up there. Where I live now, it's a little noisy.
All right. And then what are y'all doing in your imagination?
We're preparing dinner.
Nice. And so when you think about this already done, how do you feel?
I feel good.
Give more specific. Happy, enthusiastic.
Oh, yeah, I'm happy and the day is bright. There's a lot of light. It's very, very pleasant.
Yeah. So, and then notice how you feel all this right now.
Yeah, okay.
So we just folded time back on itself, right? Our imagination, although we were 6 months in the future, it's actually right now. So our feelings are in alignment with our miracles. So the way God says it to me is, he said, know that I've answered before you've asked.
Mm.
And I went, well, I've asked for a lot of things, God, and nothing happened. But what I didn't understand back then, and I understand now, is that I'm required to feel, think, and speak as though it's already done. I have my miracle. So if you think about this in this way, when you have your physical manifestation, Alexandra, the new house, you're cooking dinner, it's not the physical manifestation, it's your feelings.
Mm.
That's the miracle. So you feeling
Mm.
happy and ease and calm and peace, that's the miracle. So he says, know that I've answered before you've asked. So you have your miracle. Now here's the fun part is that you feeling this way, it shows up in your physical world now.
Mm.
So you're required to feel happy. That's how you get to your destination.
Mm-hmm.
And when you feel something different, it's not wrong. It's just less than your highest choice. It's self-sabotage to feel anger and pain. Now, that's unavoidable. Eventually, that's going to come up. But now you have some tools like acknowledging it out loud, and you feel in your body how your body relaxed.
Mm-hmm.
So when these emotions come up, or when you get a body signal, that's telling you, hey, I've got an emotion that requires acknowledgement. I require acknowledging this emotion out loud. And as soon as we say it out loud, our body just goes, and relaxes. We go right to homeostasis or enthusiasm. It's like that's our normal state is joy. It's just when we start suppressing emotions, we get a little out of alignment, body signals start showing up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. All right. So now check in with your signals with your back. Is your back any different?
No, my back is still good. It's relaxed. I got pains other places right now, but the my back, it feels fine.
So where's the pain at in your other places?
Okay, right now it's primarily in my right hip.
Okay.
The whole chain from my right foot all the way up through the right hip, all the way up to the jaw,
Okay.
coming through the right side.
So are you having challenges? So this is the question I'm crafting from those body signals. Are you having challenges understanding how to move forward in what you're doing?
And what I'm doing for what?
In life? Just
Oh, yeah. Yeah, of course I do. Yeah.
So when we have challenges understanding how to move forward, that shows up in our hips. So legs are about moving
Oh,
forward. You
okay,
get that literal joke that God has, his
okay,
sense of humor. Legs are about understanding, get it,
yeah,
standing under, understanding how to move forward.
yeah,
Our torso is about what we're doing. So the hip connects our legs and torso. And if we have challenges understanding how to move forward and what we're doing, then it shows up as hip pain.
okay,
All
all
right.
right, yeah.
And when I tell you about challenges understanding how to move forward, what emotion do you feel about that? About challenges understanding.
I would say that it has to do, it's partly fear.
Okay.
Okay, because I go, hey, I'm an old guy, and I want to have a good, happy life. We always want to have a happy life, but here at the end of your life, when all kinds of stuff start to show up from what happened all the years before, and I'm at a point where my direction basically has been to try to heal and take care of myself.
Yes.
I'm very happy with that part of a mission in life. Okay. And as I said, what I'm missing is the accompaniment.
Yes.
Okay. And I don't want to get another job. Okay. I was happy to be able to retire when I could, and I did. I had a great life with a great job and all of that. I did all the things that I ever wanted to do. And in retirement, I have found that in reality, I'm not really able to do almost all of the things that I did back during the time that I was a breadwinner when I was working.
Yes. All right. So we've got fear
Mhm,
about understanding how to move forward.
mhm,
Now, you've also given me some other data, things that I can translate through word patterns.
mhm.
So, and since you got an idea of how this works, I'm gonna go right into a deeper dive. I feel you're ready for this. Okay.
Okay.
And have you ever had well, I'll put it this way. When's your first memory of having a death wish? So it doesn't mean it's active or you're gonna do anything. I'm just a simple thought of like, man, I just don't want to be here.
I, you know, it, I don't remember that ever happening like
Okay.
like that. No, I've always wanted to live and survive, and even when things were tough.
Yeah.
Yes, I've had moments of pain where I've questioned, am I going to make it?
That same thing. Okay. Yeah. Same
Yeah,
thing.
oh yeah,
Yeah.
no question about it. Yeah, no question about it. When you're my age and you feel all the different pains and you end up with all the different stuff that I've had, where you go, oh my God, what and you try to do your best, but you you find out, wow, I get hit with something else. Just go through a whole series of different things.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Okay. All right. So we'll and I'm gonna call it death wish, but just translate it however you require. It's not
Uh-huh.
about you gonna do anything. It's just a thought of like, man, it would be easier or whatever.
Oh, yeah. Okay, yeah, because I could look at it from another way. I've got, I've said to myself, boy, I don't know how long I can take this. Can I continue to take this forever?
Yeah.
But I have faith that it'll change.
Yeah, it's not
You know,
required.
and that's really, I do have that kind of thought every day in the afternoon. Sometimes I feel like I'm Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. You know, even after a bad night's sleep, usually I feel pretty good in the first half of the day. But the second half of the day, I guess I start getting worn down and things start hurting more and all that. So in the second part of the day, I go, oh my God. And then I remember, well, if you just go lie down for a few hours and you get up and the sun will rise the next day and you got another shot at it. And you're grateful that God gives you the chance to do that.
Yes. Yes. All right. So saying out loud, yo, death wish. I touch and I stay.
Yo, death wish. I touch and I stay.
And I love my death wish into my thriving life.
And I love my death wish into my thriving life.
Yeah. And I give myself permission to forgive myself.
And I give myself permission to forgive myself.
Yeah. I recommit to loving me.
I recommit to loving me.
All right. So let's continue this deep dive. When's the first time you felt fear with a male figure in your life?
Fear for the male figure of my life. Oh, that was the first time I felt when I was abandoned. I was left with a friend over at a friend's house, and his brother was a bully and tried to get us to fight each other.
Yeah.
And all of that. So I, we didn't want to do that. So I got scared because the kid was bigger. That's the one I remember at this point.
Yeah.
It didn't happen. It didn't happen to me very often. I haven't had a lot of fear. I've been fortunate in that sense.
And so, well, where was your dad in this picture?
Oh, well, usually what happened, well, I grew up in Southern Connecticut. My dad worked in Manhattan. And my father was a wonderful person, but he was not really that available because he left before I got up in the morning, and he got back after 7 o'clock at night, and we didn't have much time. But I did get a chance when he was available on the weekends and all of that. So there was that. But my mother was the one that basically ran everything.
Yeah. Okay. So we're gonna bring your dad. So that's the right-handed side.
Okay.
And fear and understanding. So did you ever express to your dad how you felt?
No.
Okay. That's the jaw stuff, expression. So when we hold back,
Uh-huh.
it turns out as jaw pain.
Okay.
All right. So thinking back in, those younger days, saying, yo, fear, I touch and I stay.
Yo, fear, I touch and I stay.
And I love my fear into my courage and my faith.
And I love my fear into my courage and faith.
And I give myself permission to forgive my dad.
And I give myself permission to forgive my dad.
For not protecting me.
For not protecting me.
Yeah, so we'll put it all together in one sentence. I give myself permission to forgive my dad for not protecting me.
I give myself permission to forgive my dad for not protecting me.
Yeah, and I give myself permission to forgive myself.
And I give myself permission to forgive myself.
Yeah, and I understand how to move forward.
And I understand how to move forward.
Yeah. And I reclaim my God's secure love.
And I reclaim my God's secure love.
All right. And now that your dad's in God's heart, what's he saying to you that is confirming your heart's desire?
He said the same thing. Johnny, I'm proud of you.
Yeah, say it again.
Johnny, I'm proud of you.
And let it in your heart.
Yeah.
Every single cell in your body gets uplifted.
Yeah.
Awesome. All right. And then say, I am my dad's permanent victory.
I am my dad's permanent victory.
Yeah. I am my own permanent victory.
I am my own permanent victory.
Yeah. And I express myself with ease.
And I express myself with ease.
Yeah. Okay. So now check in with your hip, check in with your jaw. Is there any
Mhm.
change in how you feel?
Yep. In both places.
Well, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
All right. So this is what I do. This is every single time. I'm here to support people in remembering how powerful they are and that you can take responsibility. I mean, yeah, I understand doctors are, required sometimes, but we can also acknowledge what our body is telling us. So the pain you're feeling, if you can think of it as this simple, as when you're experiencing pain, it's a suppressed emotion that your subconscious is saying, hey, give a signal to your back, give a signal to your hip, give a signal to your jaw.
Mm.
And so when that pain comes up, you can just say out loud, yo, pain, you prick. And then bring in the forgiveness for whoever you were upset with and the forgiveness for yourself, and then making a new choice. And I understand this is like I'm asking you to drive a car for the first time. It's brand new. But I can share some information with you and you can have it, handy as reference.
Okay, let me ask you a question about it, because I've just, fast forward on that. But I have a tendency to be very hard on myself. And so the truth is, most of the forgiveness that I personally feel, I think I have to forgive myself, because I don't throw out blame. I've always taken responsibility. I've always believed that, what happens to you is very much drawn by yourself or generated from yourself, as you're showing with the energy.
Yes.
And for me, it's, in fact, my other therapist, who's the closest friend I have, she keeps telling me, you wouldn't talk to me the way you talk to yourself. And, so I know that's there, because it's like I don't really have anybody to blame. So it's hard for me to be angry or to feel that I'm angry at somebody. I've always thought I was, I guess, to an extent, compassionate enough to understand that, the other person was who they were and they did what they did and whatever, but we're all responsible for what happens to us. So it's the anger. I don't know. There's spot ones, somebody cut you off on the highway or something, so there are instances where.
Well, even think of it that way with the people you love. There are
Okay.
instances,
Okay.
little moments.
Yeah. All
Like,
right.
Yeah.
All
I'll deal
right.
with that later.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I got you. Yeah. Now that makes sense. I can, that is a common occurrence.
Yeah. So that's where we come back to that 1%.
Okay.
100%.
Yeah.
It's that little bitty thing, even my mom was great. Wonderful mother. There was a couple moments though where she gave me some stuff.
Yeah.
And also think of it this way. I love the way you think, because yes, ultimately it all comes back to us.
Mhm.
Because we're responsible for how we respond, how we react, how we feel. And think of it this way. Life is a game. And the name of the game is how you feel on the inside. And this is what shows up on the outside. So if you're hard on yourself,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I gotta get something to drink. I'm
Oh,
choking.
okay, cool. All right, we can take a break if you require it. Yeah.
No, he's gonna bring me a soda. I'll be all
All
right.
right. So when we I choose to remember what I was saying. Oh yeah, okay, I got it. When we're hard on ourselves, our world will be hard on us. So if you think of when you understand that your world is a mirror to how you feel on the inside.
Okay.
So even Jesus says you must be like a child in order to get into the kingdom of heaven. And this is just my version interpretation is that a child pretends.
Hmm.
And like, when you were a kid, you picked up a stick, next thing you know, you got a real machine gun and you feel as though it's real. And so we can do that with us. And so even though we may have, be in pain or whatever issues, the woman's not there, missing her and all that stuff, we can still create it in us. And we might have to pretend in the beginning.
Hmm.
That's being like a child in order to get into heaven. And to me, heaven's now and then. And
Yeah.
kingdom of heaven is within and above us. It says it in both places in scripture. And so if it's in me, it's right now.
Mhm.
And when I'm enjoying enthusiasm and calm and easy, man, none of that stuff on the news bothers me.
Mhm.
So we're required to create it in us first. So like what you did today is create joy,
Uh-huh.
forgiveness, courage, and faith. That's in you right now.
Yeah.
So this is what will reflect back to you from your world, from your people, from your experiences, your circumstances, your events. That all reflects back how you feel.
Mhm. Mhm.
Do you enjoy audiobooks?
Yeah, I do listen to them.
There's an audiobook, it's free on YouTube. It was written in 1925, and it's called The Game of Life and How to Play It.
Oh, okay.
And I can text you the link. It's free on YouTube.
Thank you.
And it's a wonderful book that changed my life.
Ooh.
And it's a woman who is a genius, and she's kind of like a doctor, but she's like a metaphysical doctor, where she prescribes decrees or things to say out loud so that it
Oh,
keeps you focused on
yeah.
your highest choices.
Uh-huh. Okay.
So I can text that to you when we get off of here.
Thank you.
And it's a really easy listen. It's about an hour long. And it's one of my favorite books.
Wonderful. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. Okay, so we're wrapping up on it. We're coming up on an hour. Is there what's your biggest takeaways today?
That I did not know what to expect. I mean, Mark had said that it was remarkable, and I can feel it already that you do you do have a gift.
Thank you.
And it comes through. And I am extremely happy to have had the opportunity to meet with you. And if we could do something regular, I would be very happy to do that, whatever you think is a recommended thing. But I have enjoyed this session tremendously.
Yeah, so this is just me, and if it resonates with you, then we can do it. Once a week
All right.
is a great start. My outcome is that you get this and you start soaring like an eagle. Because if I'm doing this a year from now and the same thing with you, like I'm not doing my job. Like I know God brought me here to remind us who we are. And so yeah, I have a couple programs where it's we can do 4 weeks once a week. And I also do, there's a couple other things if you're interested in, I do eye photos.
Oh,
Um,
read the iris of the eye.
yes.
Oh, wonderful.
And I do it in, it's a little different. If you've ever heard of iridology.
Yes, I have.
Okay, it's very similar, but the scripture changed the way I read eyes. So
Oh,
I said, it says, if you see a twig in your brother's eye, get the log out of your own.
oh,
So if I'm reading someone's eyes and I'm saying, oh, you've got this wrong, you got deficiencies here, and this is, I'm looking at twigs in my brother's eye and I'm creating logs in my own.
ah,
So what I do now is I understand that the signals in our eye are about why we're here on this planet. So when someone's got something that's like, oh wow, look at that, that's really jumping out at me. That's why they're here on this planet. Because in scripture it says, through perfect weakness is made great strength.
hmm,
So all these hard things that we go through are the biggest blessing.
mm-hmm.
And then it's just our agreement to it after that. As soon as it's like sunshine, you just step into it. Like my greatest strength of getting on here and, shit, 2 years ago, I would have never said, yeah, God sent me here to help people, to remind them who
Mm,
we are and what we're capable of. And that was just not even in my radar. I was scared to say it, and then something shifted in me where I just agreed to it. Nothing else changed other than I agreed to my miracle. I agreed to my greatest strength.
mm-hmm.
And then boom, here we are. So yeah, the website, I can text you a link to the website.
All right.
And yeah, we can go from there. Everything is automated.
Uh-huh.
So you can, once you pick what you choose, so if you pick 4 weeks of coaching or you can do just a one-on-one, just a single session, or if you choose four, and then once you pick that, then you can schedule your appointments.
Oh, okay. Wonderful.
Yeah, and we do exactly what we did here today.
Oh, that's terrific. Thank
Yeah.
you. I really appreciate it. This has been very rewarding and really, really worth pursuing. Thank you.
Awesome, dude. Yeah.
Yeah.
I still get enthusiastic and joyful when someone's body, brings relief. It brings relief. And I know it works. It works every time. And I still every single time like
Wonderful. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. I can see how it does that. That very rewarding. That's wonderful that you get that because you sure deserve it.
Oh, thank you. And and this session is just to build rapport with you. And since you're choosing to go play with me a little bit more, this one's a gift from me.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah,
That's very generous of you.
you're very welcome. And so yeah, I will text you the link to the website. I'll text you that book I was telling you about.
All right.
And then eventually I'll get your email and I'll send you the same stuff I've sent Mark, which is the ebook and a body language chart.
Okay.
But I'll space that out so I'm not overloading you with information right off the get-go. So
All right. That's wonderful. Well, thank you very much.
all right, John.
All right.
Great work today. That was awesome.
Okay. Namaste, as we say.
Namaste.
Okay. Bye-bye.
All right, Mark. Hey, Mark, just text me when you want to. Are you available tomorrow?
Isabella wants 4 o'clock. I could do sometime tomorrow too. Yeah. Maybe like 1.
That's 12. Yes. Stand by.
Oh yeah, I don't know the change right now. Are you guys an hour behind Central?
Central.
Yeah, you're an hour behind. So yeah, 12 your time?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. I'll do it. So 12 for you and then or 1 for
Isabella.
you Eastern and then 2 for Isabella.
4 o'clock for her.
With 3 air time.
3.
Yeah, okay, 3 o'clock for Isabella, 12 o'clock for you for all right,
Yep.
got it.
I can text you that too if you want.
Yes.
Okay. Thanks so much.
You're
Good to
welcome
see you.
so much. Y'all have a great day.
You too.
Okay,
Bye.
you too.
Good to see you,
Bye-bye.
David.